The Owen James Report is
brought to you by JMMB. If you're serious about saving, you deserve JMMB.
If you're serious about saving, JMMB is where you need to put your money.
So what about my bank?
When you invest with JMMB, you earn higher rates, pay a lot less fees, and your money grows faster.
3 times faster.
And we'll work out the best plan for you, and we'll help you to stick to it. For the last 19 years, we have had many people make good money and achieve their goals by investing their savings with us. It's what we do. If you're serious about saving, you deserve JMMB.
A very good evening and welcome to the Owen James Report. I'm Garfield Burford, sitting in tonight for Owen James. We begin with a developing story at this hour. Events thousands of miles away could push up energy costs here in Jamaica and as a result change the dynamics in the country's current account. Now the US has launched 2 additional airstrikes against militants from the Islamic State or IS, formerly known as ISIS in northern Iraq, stoking fresh tensions in the region and leaving many worried that oil prices could surge. U.S. drones and Navy fighter jets attacked targets near the city of Erbil, a similar location to the first strike earlier on Friday. The Sunni Muslim group has taken control of swathes of Iraq and Syria. Now, prominent analyst Ralston Hyman argues that the worsening crisis in the Middle East is worrying since a significant portion of the world's oil is transported through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, the strait is a narrow body of water that separates Iran from the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, and is the only point of access to the Persian Gulf. It is also the busiest passageway for oil tankers in the world, with more than 17 million barrels or 18% of global consumption passing through it each day. Ralston Hyman warns that a surge in oil prices would erode the gains made in improving the current account deficit. That is the difference between how much foreign currency the country earns and how much it spends. He is calling on the authorities to do more to tell Jamaicans what is happening.
It therefore means that the authorities need to be informed in the country as to how these developments will impact on the economy and pushing things like energy conservation more, as well as to more quickly to implement the energy policy. It brings into sharp focus the need now to implement energy policy urgently and reminds us of 1973 when there was the first oil price shock. We have been talking about energy policy since then.
Jamaica spends the bulk of foreign exchange on imported oil, and lower oil prices in recent months have led to an improvement in the current account. If the current account deficit widens, this would also place added pressure on the foreign exchange rate as well, leading to further price increases. The country's net international reserves rose significantly at the end of July compared with a month earlier. Now, there was a jump of $805 million in the stock of US dollars, moving from 1.37 million at the end of June to 2.18 at the end of July. Now, this outturn means Jamaica has a comfortable buffer of 20 weeks of goods and services imports. Now, the boost in the foreign reserves had been predicted following the receipt of loan funds on the international capital markets. Not only has the $800 million US dollar debt gone straight into the NIR, but it will pay off debt maturing between October this year and June next year. Now, the funds in the NIR has eased the pressure on the central bank as well from having to buy foreign currency out of the market to boost the reserves. In company news now, the National Commercial Bank NCB has advised that Nadine Nita, who is Assistant General Manager of the Corporate Banking Division, will demit office effective August 15. The bank says this decision has been taken in the context of the ongoing review of the organizational structure at all levels. Equities now, and Lime was the volume leader on a day when the main JSE index advanced by 552 points from trading in 16 stocks, of which 8 advanced, 3 declined and 5 maintained their stock value. Now, the big winner on the day was Caribbean Cement Company, followed by Carreras and Grace Kennedy. Now, Lime, Pan Jamaican Investment Trust and Sagicor Group Jamaica were among the other winners on the day. The losing end was populated by the financial institutions, JMMB, NCB and Scotia Group. That's the Owen James Report. Good evening.
The Owen James Report was brought to you
by JMMB. If you're serious about saving, you deserve JMMB.